Fame wasn't freedom. I learned that the hard way. In the weeks after Marcus's empire crumbled, I was everywhere. On magazine covers, quoted in think pieces, asked to keynote conferences about ethics and AI. People started calling me a symbol, a hero, a warning. But I never asked to be a symbol. I just wanted my name back. The call that changed everything. It came on a Tuesday. Rain tapped softly on my window. My phone buzzed. Ava, this is Jenna McCall from Horizon Innovations. We've reviewed the Reverie case, and frankly, we're ashamed we ever backed Marcus. I didn't speak. We'd like to fund whatever you build next. No strings. Full creative control. A new company, under your leadership. My heart didn't leap. It paused, because for the first time, the power was mine. The letter from Mark Husett arrived by mail. No return address. Handwritten. The signature was unmistakable. Ava, I don't expect forgiveness, but I need you to know something. I watched your expos 3 times. You didn't just beat me. You built something I never could. You made people care. That pendant was yours. I just wanted to stand in your light. I folded the letter and tossed it into the drawer. It didn't change anything. But it proved one thing. He finally knew the truth. Launching Trace, I said no to licensing Reverie. I said no to becoming their figurehead. Instead, I launched Trace, a new line of wearable tech, rooted in transparency and consent. Every piece was traceable back to its origin. Every innovation stored in blockchain. Every creative credited permanently. Our motto was simple. No one gets erased. Eli came on as CTO. Serena, the friend who once doubted me, sent flowers and a handwritten apology. I forgave her. Eventually, 1 year later, Terry walked onto the TED stage. 1,000 faces stared back. My name is Ava Carter. I'm not a founder because someone gave me permission. I'm a founder because I refuse to be forgotten. They stood and clapped. But this time, I didn't cry. I just smiled. The girl in the audience after the talk, a girl approached me, maybe 19, nervous, holding a notebook full of sketches. Miss Carter, I've been building something too, but I'm scared someone will steal it. I knelt beside her. Then let's make sure they can't. I handed her my card. Double quotes, found her. IO proof of innovation. Forever. Final thoughts, Marcus. Story faded. Reverie rebranded. But my story? It became a blueprint. Not just for justice, but for resilience, for truth. I didn't just reclaim my dream. I rewrote the rules. And now, I help others do the same. The moment I released the final audio file, I knew there was no turning back. I wasn't just telling the truth anymore. I was declaring war. The confession goes live video was simple. No flashy edits, no music, just a black screen and Marcus's own voice pieced together from real conversations, phone calls, video chats. His tone was unmistakable, smug, arrogant, careless. Marcus Audio, she had the idea, sure, but I had the money, the name, the network. I'm not a thief. I'm a founder. She'll get over it. Marcus Audio, it's easier when people don't ask too many questions. Just smile. Say you did the work, and no one checks the rest. At the end, the screen faded in white text. You can manipulate the story, but not the source. I remembers. Ava Carter posted it at midnight. By sunrise, it had gone viral. Day 1, the internet explodes. Ava built it was trending worldwide. Journalists flooded my inbox. TikTok creators made breakdown videos. Twitter was filled with frame-by-frame analyses comparing Marcus's past speeches with my original pitch files. One clip went especially viral. A split screen of me explaining the pendant's neural syncing at the pitch night months ago, and Marcus using exactly the same words in a Wired interview a month later. Word for word. He didn't even change the phrasing. One TikToker said, "This guy isn't just a thief. He's lazy." Influencers flipped sides. Those who had once posed with Marcus's pendant now publicly dropped endorsements. A popular tech reviewer posted, "I'm embarrassed I ever supported this product. Shout out to Ava Carter, a genius who deserves way more than this industry gave her." Day 2, the fallout begins that afternoon. I received a call from a major podcast host. "Ava, we want your story. 20 million listeners. Say yes." I said yes. The next day, I sat in a quiet studio, headphones on, voice calm but boiling inside. I never wanted to be famous, I said into the mic. I just wanted to build something beautiful. And I didn't think I'd have to fight for my own name to be attached to it. They played Marcus's audio clips mid-interview. I didn't have to say much after that. Letting his words destroy him was more powerful than any accusation. Marcus finally speaks 3 hours after the podcast aired. Marcus held a press conference, live-streamed, dozens of reporters, flashbulbs. He stepped up to the mic in a gray suit, no tie, tired eyes, tight jaw. There's been a lot of confusion, he said. Yes, Ava Carter was involved early in the development of the pendant, but her involvement ended before the final product. Any overlap is coincidental, someone in the crowd yelled. What about the recordings? What about the patent fraud? He froze for a beat, then he said the line that would haunt him forever. Look, I didn't steal anything. If she had really built it, why did she need me at all? That was it. The internet ripped him apart. Day 3 corporate collapse. The end of the week, 3 investors had pulled out of Reverie, Marcus's startup. Their official statements: we were misled. We condemn unethical business practices. We stand with creators. His chief technical officer resigned. His head of PR went silent. One of the board members posted, we believed in a lie. Ava Carter, we owe you more than an apology. Then came the lawsuits. Not from me, not yet, but from former partners. Engineers. Even 2 interns who said Marcus had taken credit for their early work. It was like a dam breaking. Suddenly everyone had a story. Everyone had receipts. But victory wasn't easy. With the spotlight came the threats. Anonymous emails flooded my inbox. You think you're a hero? You're just bitter. You're trying to cancel a good man. Careful. People like you disappear. I turned off notifications. Changed my locks. My face was everywhere. My voice. My name. It felt like justice. But it also felt like being hunted. Then came the offer, an email from one of Marcus's top investors, a man who once shook my hand and told me my design was cute. Subject: let's talk settlement. They offered me $2.4 million and co-creator credit on Reverie's official site in exchange for a full non-disclosure agreement and no further public comment. A golden cage. Eli messaged me. You gonna take it? I stared at the screen, then typed back. No, I'm gonna finish what I started. The final blow: with the help of my AI system, I launched a public database called Found Her, a platform where inventors could upload their work and have it time-stamped, voice verified, and linked to blockchain-based proof of authorship. I made it open-source. No one would have to go through what I did again. The first blog post read, my name is Ava Carter. I was erased. Now I'm writing it back in permanent ink. Marcus Devlin hasn't spoken publicly since. His company? Still alive barely. But it's no longer his. 2 weeks ago, I got a call from someone on the new board. We'd like you to lead a new division. The one you actually built. Under your name. I didn't answer right away. Because I didn't need permission anymore. The truth had a sound. It wasn't a scream or a sob. It was a subtle, sharp intake of breath, that half-second hesitation someone makes right before they lie, and my machine, it could hear it. Rebuilding from rock bottom apartment was a war zone of cables, hard drives, and AI training windows. I hadn't left in days. Dishes piled up. The lights stayed off except for the glow of 2 monitors. But I was building something bigger than revenge. I wasn't just going to accuse Marcus. I was going to prove it. Publicly, visually, audibly, undeniably. Eli Dorsey became my secret weapon. He had worked with Marcus in Kiln Capital's early prototype lab, and he'd kept everything: emails, Dropbox links, even NDA violations that never should have existed. I was naive, Eli said during one of our encrypted voice chats. I thought Marcus was just arrogant. I didn't know he was a full-blown thief until it was too late. Yeah, I replied. Join the club. Together. We created Project Playback, a forensic AI suite designed not to create deepfakes, but to reconstruct the real, the machine that Listensi fed the system over 150 hours of raw footage. audio memos, meeting notes, Zoom recordings, even casual phone calls. The AI trained itself on my voice print and Marcus's changes in sentence construction over time, keywords tied to original ideation vs. reactionary response, ownership. Language, for example, my design. I thought of. It then created a layered timeline that matched what was said with who first said it, using something called semantic originality mapping. In plain English, it showed exactly who created what and when. Then I gave the machine a task: recreate a conversation showing how Marcus slowly stole credit for my invention. What came back chilled me to the bone. A rendered animation, side-by-side profiles of me and Marcus during an early design meeting. I watched in my own voice explain the neural audio encoder design, then watched Marcus repeat it to investors a week later, word for word, like it was his idea. AI voice: Marcus, we've embedded emotion detecting spectrography in real time. It's never been done before. Annotation: statement originally recorded 6 days earlier by Ava Carter. Confidence score: 98.4%. Borrowed language. I blinked. For the first time, I could watch the theft happen, going viral with the truth a lie, and I spent 3 more days editing the footage, combining it with legal patent timestamps on screen callouts. Like a true crime doc, Marcus's Instagram clips, contrasting his public lies with private recordings, a closing statement narrated by me. Raw, unscripted, real. We titled it The Founder Lie. How Marcus Devlin Stole My Voice, My Work, and My Future. Runtime: 11 minutes, 12 seconds. We didn't release it on my own profile. That would have been suicide. We sent it anonymously to The Verge, Wired, and most importantly, at Exposedi, a viral ex-Twitter account that specialized in AI controversies and takedowns. What happened next was Tuesday 9:32 a.m. The video drops on at Exposedi's feed. Caption: this woman claims her AI proves the man who went viral last month stole her design. Thoughts? By M. It has 50,000 views. BYPM over 500,000. BY Nightfall. Marcus's PR team is in full damage control mode. Marcus Devlin statement: this is clearly a manipulated video. I respect innovation and believe in team effort. Anyone can create a timeline if they edit hard enough, but people weren't buying it. The AI wasn't faked, it was too detailed, too verifiable, too real. Comment section highlights: wait, she has emails and voice prints? Bro copied her word for word and thought we wouldn't notice. Marcus Devlin is done. Tech bros stealing from women. Again, this is actually terrifying and kind of genius. That night, I watched Marcus go live. He looked nervous for the first time ever. Listen, he said, eyes darting between the camera and someone off screen. There's a lot of noise right now. I wish Ava the best. We had a working relationship, yes. But this is a hit job. His comments filled with fire emojis and the phrase, #Ava built a day to the takedown begins. The Verge ran an article. Hi doesn't lie. Ava Carter's fight for recognition is changing the game. CNN picked it up next. Then MSNBC, a lawyer for a whistleblower firm, contacted me that evening. We believe you have grounds for a lawsuit and a settlement worth millions. Eli texted. You just rewrote history in real time. But Marcus wasn't done yet. 3 days later, I received a cease and desist letter. His legal team accused me of defamation, intellectual property theft, AI manipulation, breach of NDA. It was 10 pages of threats and legal jargon. I stared at the document for a long time. My fingers shook as I held it. Then I walked over to my desk, pulled out a USB drive, opened the final file from my AI system. It was Marcus's full confession clipped from several calls, synced to show timeline consistency. Marcus laughing. I mean, technically, it was her idea, but she never would have launched it without me. He never knew I had that. And now, he was going to learn what it meant to steal from someone who never forgot a word. I met Marcus at the worst possible time, or maybe the best. My rent was overdue. My credit cards were maxed out. And the prototype of my smart jewelry line sat unfinished on a cluttered desk in my tiny one-bedroom apartment in Seattle. It was all wires and promise. Fragile and beautiful, like everything I'd built with my bare hands. I was one investor away from making it real or walking away forever. I had no idea then that the man who would walk into my life with a smile and a checkbook was about to steal everything. It started with a pitch night. Not one of those Silicon Valley TED Talk things. This was in the back of a brewery. Half the crowd was drunk by the time I took the mic. "My name is Ava Carter," I said, trying to sound confident. "And I've designed something that lets you wear memories, not just jewelry, intelligence that responds to your life." I held up my prototype. A small teardrop-shaped pendant glowed faintly blue. It records ambient sound, tracks emotional biomarkers, and creates digital keepsakes. You can relive heartbeats, laughter, the exact words someone said when they told you they loved you. Silence, then applause, then whispers. I didn't care about the validation. I just wanted someone to believe in it. In me. That's when Marcus stepped forward. He was tall, clean-cut, early 40s maybe, blazer over a black tee, a face built for magazine covers. He waited until the crowd thinned out before approaching me. "That was the best pitch I've seen in years," he said, offering a business card. Marcus Devlin, venture partner at Kiln Capital. His handshake was firm, rehearsed. "I want to help you bring this to market." I thought I'd won the lottery. Finally, someone who got it, who saw the vision, not just the numbers. The next few weeks were a blur. Meetings, coffees, contracts. He took me to investor lunches, flew me to New York, introduced me to people who spoke in buzzwords, and promised millions if we just scaled fast. I kept the original idea rooted in emotion. I didn't want my product to become another cold piece of tech. I wanted it to feel like the people who wore it. Marcus loved that, or pretended to. He'd lean in during meetings, touch my wrist lightly, and whisper, "They're going to remember your name, Ava. You're building the future." I believed him. I believed every word. We got closer. Too close, maybe. Late nights at the office turned into wine and music. He'd show up at my door with takeout and say, "You've been coding for 12 hours straight. Eat." He never made a move. Not directly, but the way he looked at me, it felt like more than business. "You ever think about the moment before success?" he asked one night while we stood on the balcony of his condo. "The quiet before the world knows who you are?" "I think about it all the time," I said. "Enjoy it." He smiled. "Because when this launches, everything changes." I didn't know he meant for him. Not for us. He asked to take over the patent paperwork. Said he had a better legal team. Cleaner, faster, safer, he promised. "You handle the creative. I'll protect the business side." I hesitated. He noticed. "You trust me, right?" I did. God help me. I did. I signed the forms. A week later, we unveiled the beta at a private demo. Investors, influencers, press. I wore the pendant myself and told them the story of how it captured my mother's voice the last time she sang to me before she passed. I cried. So did half the room. Cameras flashed. Reporters scribbled. Marcus stood beside me like a proud co-founder, but something was off. I noticed it in the way he smiled when someone asked, "Whose idea was this originally?" He said nothing. I stepped in. I designed it. Marcus helped bring it to life. The smile stayed on his face, but something in his eyes went cold. That night, he kissed me. Slow, deliberate, then whispered, "We make a good team." 3 weeks later, he ghosted me. No calls, no meetings. The emails bounced. The office space we were leasing, locked. I panicked. Called everyone we'd met. No one responded, until one message came through. "Hey Ava, congrats on the launch. Just saw Marcus's segment on CNBC. Huge success. Your design looks amazing." Wait, Marcus's segment? I opened the video. There he was wearing a suit, standing in a glossy showroom, holding my pendant. "We call it Reverie," he said. "It's the world's first emotional intelligence wearable, a product I developed after years of research." No mention of me. No co-founder. No Ava Carter. Just Marcus. alone, smiling into the camera like he'd birthed the damn thing himself. I collapsed on the floor of my apartment. I screamed until my throat hurt. I tore the necklace from my neck and hurled it across the room. How could I have been so stupid? I called a lawyer. He looked through the paperwork and frowned. You signed over the IP to a holding company, he said, tapping the contract. That company is owned by Marcus Devlin. Legally, he owns everything. But I designed it. I coded it. I pitched it. Doesn't matter. The lawyer said gently. What matters is who filed the patents and owns the company name. And that wasn't me. For weeks, I disappeared. Didn't eat. Didn't sleep. Just scrolled through comments on his launch video. What a genius. Marcus is changing the world. I want one. I wanted to burn the world down. But one night, I opened an old file. It was a voice memo from our first month of meetings. I hit play. Marcus, you build it. I'll handle the rest. And if it all works out, I'll make sure you never have to worry about money again. You're the real brain here, Ava. My hands started shaking. Wait a second. There were more files. Dozens of them. And not just voice recordings. Emails. Video calls. Screen captures. I had something Marcus didn't know about. Proof. And that's when the idea hit me. If Marcus could steal my product and use tech to lie, then I could use tech to expose the truth. The betrayal didn't end with him stealing my design.it began there, but it spread like a virus into every relationship I thought I could trust. Every part of my past I thought was secure. And Marcus? He didn't just erase my name. He erased me. 2 days after the CNBC interviewee called Serena first, she'd been my college roommate and the closest thing I had to a business partner before Marcus showed up. We'd pulled all-nighters coding together, laughed over cheap boxed wine, and dreamed of launching something big. She answered on the third ring. Hey, Ava. Wow, it's been a while. I need your help. Marcus, he stole my design, my patents, the product. He cut me out completely. There was a long pause. I heard about the launch. I assumed you were part of it. I was. I built the whole damn thing. He's lying to everyone, Serena. I have proof. Recordings, notes, timelines. I just need anyone to believe me. She hesitated. Then her voice went flat. Ava, I don't know if getting into a legal mess with him is a good idea. He's kind of a big deal now. I mean, what if it backfires? I couldn't believe what I was hearing. You think I'm making this up? No. I don't want you to get hurt more. Click. She hung up. That was the first moment it truly hit me. No one was coming to save me. The tech forums he posted anonymously on 2 startup forums and Reddit. What do you do when your business partner steals your prototype and files a patent behind your back? Most replies looked like this. You should have protected your IP. Tough lesson. Move on. You're probably just bitter because he succeeded. One reply stood out. If you have digital records of your work and collaboration, maybe use machine learning to verify authorship. Otherwise, it's your word vs. his. That reply sent a chill through me. Because I did have records, and I knew how to use them. 3 years earlier when I worked at an AI ethics lab, we were experimenting with sentiment-driven AI transcription. Tools programs that didn't just record what you said, but how you said it. It tracked stress in your voice, flagged hesitation, even ranked emotional intensity by sentence. I helped build one of those tools. I still had access to an early version. It had never been tested like this, but maybe it was time to see what my machine could really do. Operation Memory Troch. I loaded the voice memos, screen recordings, and emails from my shared folders with Marcus into the AI engine. Then I created 2 profiles. Voice A, Ava Carter. Me. Voice B, Marcus Devlin. The algorithm combed through every file identifying speaker tone, command phrases, and original ideation tags. In simple terms, it separated who came up with what, who led the innovation, who made passive comments, and who actively created. The result? 94.7% of key design and engineering concepts originated from me. Marcus, by comparison, contributed logistical planning, funding strategy, and vague marketing. Buzzwords like make it feel Apple-esque and put blockchain somewhere. Then came the gold mine. A recorded FaceTime call from 6 months ago. Marcus. You really think this pendant can track memory through voice and emotion? Me? It already does. The signal processing is built into the mic. I just haven't coded the syncing function yet, Marcus. Damn. You better patent that before someone else does. He laughed, but a week after that call, he filed the patent under his name. I built a digital trail using AI matching metadata from voice memos, timestamps, Git commits, and emails. The software even tagged Marcus's face in Zoom meetings and overlaid his statements with mine to detect manipulation or changes in phrasing. It was like building a murder case. Except the weapon was lies, and the victim was me. Then things got worse. I uploaded the first part of the timeline to a private Google Drive folder and sent it to 3 journalists who had recently profiled Marcus. One responded, "Thanks for reaching out." Unfortunately, without confirmation from legal or a public-facing claim, "We can't pursue this story." The second journalist ghosted me. The third, a tech gossip blogger named Clay Mercer, he wrote back, "This is wild. But if this is fake, I could get sued for libel. Got anything juicier?" I sent him the recording. "Marcus, she doesn't even know I filed the patents. Poor thing. But hey, she'll thank me when we go public." Clay didn't reply. But 2 hours later, Marcus went live on Instagram. The smear began. She sat in front of a sleek black background, wearing his signature gray tee and that annoying confidence in his eyes. "Hey everyone. I normally don't respond to rumors, but someone, and I won't say who, is trying to undermine my work and spread misinformation." He leaned in. "Yes. I collaborated with people. Yes. I had conversations. But the vision, the drive, the execution, that was mine. And I'm proud of it." 10,000 likes. 100,000 views in 30 minutes. Comments poured in. "Haters gonna hate. Jealous X maybe. You're a king, bro." He was flipping the script before I could even turn a page. I stared at the screen, shaking. He wasn't just protecting himself. He was laying the groundwork to destroy me if I spoke up. But then, I got a message. It was an encrypted email from a fake address. Subject line: "You're not crazy." Message: "I used to work with Marcus. He did the same thing to me. Let me help, but we have to be smart." Attached was a name: Eli Dorsey, former hardware engineer at Kiln Capital. Quietly terminated last year. A second email followed: "I still have the original prototype blueprints. You send them to me, not him. I can verify your authorship through checksum data. Let's burn this bastard." For the first time in weeks, I smiled, because I wasn't alone anymore. Rewriting the war plan with Eli on my side and AI digging deeper, I built a digital arsenal. I verified voiceprint timeline, GitHub commit logs from my private repo emails, and designed blueprints with metadata. Internal chat messages where Marcus literally says, "Let's keep Ava's name off the initial launch doc. Investors will like a clean story." I knew what I had wasn't just revenge material. It was legal grade, indisputable truth. And I wasn't going to leak it quietly. I was going to make him answer in front of the entire world.